Hey the internet, this is Lock. Big news this week. World of Warcraft has changed its payment model. The game that has always been the exception is now following suit, moving away from the strict submodel that made it a billion-dollar industry. The system will be familiar to anyone who knows about the PLEX system in EVE or C.R.E.D. in Wildstar. You buy a token with your real life money, then you can either trade that token for a month of game time or sell it to another player for in-game currency, gold in the case of WoW. The idea is that players with a lot of time have a lot of gold, and players with little time would rather trade their IRL cash in order to avoid farming or feeling like they're wasting time on parts of the game that they don't enjoy. It has the added benefit of creating a legitimate way to buy gold, which puts a dent in the gold sellers' profits, hopefully enough to move them on to new pastures. I don't know about you, I hate gold sellers, I really hate them. Since WoW is no longer sitting at the dizzying heights of its popularity, but it still has millions of users paying monthly to play. It's interesting that they've made this change. With changes to how lapsed accounts can access the game, it feels like this ties into Blizzard's strategy of trying to entice veteran players back. You can pay for a token with gold from the character select screen while gazing wistfully at your old main. Perhaps you dropped it with Miss Pandaria and picked it back up again with Warlords of Draenor, and now you're thinking, oh man, maybe just one more month. After all, at this point, it seems unlikely that many people who would be interested in playing WoW haven't tried it already. Reported numbers are over 100 million people have played World of Warcraft. The MMO giant is no longer the PC game everyone's bullying their friends into playing. So Blizzard have to keep up with the churn some other way. They don't want to start bleeding subscribers. They don't want those numbers to go down. And this is, in the short term, this is a really good way. It's going to look really good when they post their active user numbers. Once they decide what qualifies as an active user, as they get to now. There's also the obvious money situation. It's all about money. It's the monetization model. Blizzard must be confident that they will make at least as much, if not more money from their system than from their strict sub-model. We know that generally free-to-play makes more money than subscription anyway. And this way will probably most likely open up more opportunities for their cash shop, perhaps even offering more cosmetic items or even account services for gold. There's been a quiet but sustained discontent from people who say, World of Warcraft, it's a little bit double dipping, isn't it? When you have to buy the game, you pay your subscription, and there's a cash shop for cosmetic items that you can't get any other way in-game, and then also you're paying for account services, which, from the outside looks like, they don't cost Blizzard anything to implement, to use. So, this will probably go some way to alleviating a little bit of that pressure. For me personally, when I was poor and I was playing the game a lot, I would have loved this. I would have thought this was absolutely wonderful to not have to pay real money to play the game. Oh my god, imagine. When I was better off financially and still playing a lot, it wouldn't actually have affected me much. I would have probably carried on playing. I maybe would have bought a token to sell for gold if I felt like it, especially at the beginning, just to be like, oh look, a token, sell the token, yay, loads of gold. And now that I don't play regularly, I'm certainly not what you call an active user, but this change, it does add a few hooks to the ever looming back to WoW express is rolling through town, and even if it's enough to get people to that login screen, I joke about gazing wistfully at your old main, but it can't, if you just have to press that button and you go, oh, why not? I'll jump in, I'll have a look around, I'll see what's up. So on paper, it seems like a good decision from Blizzard's perspective. Some kind of change was inevitable eventually. I'm glad that they're being proactive about it. You know, I'd hate to see it in the situation where it was forced to make quite rapid changes, not being able to slowly mature. But we'll have to wait and see how these changes affect the players. I'm sure some will be on hyper alert for any signs of increased grind. It's inevitable. I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot about that. So what do you think? Would they have been better off just going straight free to play? Can they go free to play? Is this the first sign of the slow decline of the once proud ruler? Will this change be enough to tempt you back, at least to the login screen, to have a look? Thank you very much for watching. As always, hit the like button if you thought this whole thing was worthwhile. Subscribe if you haven't already for lots of wonderful magical things that'll change your life forever. And yeah, cheers. See you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye!